Welcome back to the Shankly Sessions, everybody. This is the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week as part of the offering on the upper tier. If you could head out there, smash that subscribe and bell notification button. This is your match reaction and player ratings. Liverpool 3, Brighton 3. The goals coming from Trossard with a hat-trick on 4:17 and 83. Bobby Firmino 33 and getting the equaliser on 54. And then an OG to put us in the lead. Webster on 63 and OG coming off Sanchez. Where do we begin with this? It's getting very frustrating at this stage. I mean, when you look, we said it right from the beginning. The lineup at the beginning was absolutely shocking. How Jordan Henderson in 2022 is a starter for this team, I do not know. Trent looks like he now needs some time out of the team. And looking at his performance today, as hard as it is to say, it nearly vindicated Southgate's decision. I thought we would have seen a much better performance from Trent Alexander-Arnold. I thought he would have wanted to lay down a marker and show Southgate exactly what he was missing. But he was absolutely shocking today. Shocking. Once again, we started, and I spoke about this in the preview, both on Stephen's channel and here on the upper tier on the Shankly Sessions. We can't afford to start sluggish. We can't afford to come out of the trap so slow every single game. Go a goal behind, and then it's an uphill battle from there. And once again, we've seen it today. When we don't pay the respect and credibility that teams in the Premier League deserve, we get punished. And that was simply it. I spoke on the preview about how dangerous Trossard was. I spoke about how dangerous Brighton were in the way that they set up. Darren has spoke about it a million times on the previews about how they set up with Danny Welbeck playing in that kind of decoy position to open up things and runners from deep. Trossard, Gross, March, all these guys. And that's exactly what happened today. I predicted that they wouldn't change their style of play, and they didn't. I predicted that they wouldn't change their formation, and they didn't. Why would you change a winning formation? And they've been absolutely brilliant this season, Brighton. And we know that playing Brighton at the best of times is a difficult task in itself, with the way they set up and the way they play. But especially when we are so off it, we were so sluggish in the counter. It was so slow. When we did counter attack and hit on the front foot, we backed in again and we moved back and we passed back and we slowed it all down. Gave Brighton the opportunity to get organised again with those two banks in there and stuff like that. Gave up two really, I wouldn't say poor goals, but poor goals from our standard where we should be. And it's really, really poor. And then, of course, after getting our noses in front and having the opportunity to once again get out of jail, we let Brighton back in again. Poor mistake from Van Dijk, falls to Trossard, and he finishes off his hat-trick with some plum. So really, really poor. Let's go down through the game quickly. As I said, started off real sluggish, no purpose to our play, no shape. There was bodies all over the place. At one stage, I counted something like 7 bodies on one side of the pitch during a play and stuff like that. So Liverpool all over the place for the first 15 minutes. Brighton with a number of chances. And it could have easily been half time. It could have been 3-1, could have been 4-1. They had a lot of chances, a lot of opportunity. We seen Trent gives the ball up again too easy. Southgate getting vindicated on his choice. Welbeck to Marsh into Trossard. And again, he finishes 2-0 on 18 minutes. So 18 minutes in, we're 2-0 down. And this is at Anfield, packed house, against Brighton. 2-0 down. Players asleep. To Thiago's passing. Thiago was trying to move some balls around, move some passes around. His passing today was a little bit off, a little bit disjointed. But the players, frankly, just looked like they were asleep. There was no movement. Everything was kind of checking and running instead of fluid onto the ball and stuff like that. I don't know how many missed places Thiago had today. I'm not sure if they would you even call them misplaced, or would you call them that just players weren't aware of what he was trying to do and stuff like that? But just look, we start with Klopp. The lineup was all wrong. And I don't know what his thinking was in terms of the lineup. I don't know what his problem is with Nunes. And quite frankly, I think at the end, subbing him on like that is just an absolute piss take. So I don't know what his thinking is on that. We certainly were lacking quality in the final third. So slow on the counter, letting Brighton get organised, as I said. 33 minutes, goal for Firmino in front of the cop after Mo Salah squares the ball. VAR checked it, very, very tight decision, but he was just a fraction onside. I'm not even sure if he was trying to square the ball or if he was trying to bring the ball down and control it. But the ball falls to Bobby and he finishes. So it was great to see Bobby getting a goal in front of the cop and stuff like that. And we love when Bobby scores at Anfield. So it was 2-1, game on. Mo Salah operating much more central as well. You got to get Mo. I spoke about it last night in the preview. You got to get Mo in off that wing and more kind of central in order to reap the benefits of him getting goals and getting involved more in the play. Once he's out wide on the flank there and stuff like that, he's just getting crowded out by players and he's nowhere to go. I thought there was a lack of link-up play today with himself and Trent. It was non-existent. And himself, and even the link-up play between Trent and Hendo and him, that triangle that tends to work and rewards, non-existent today. Hendo non-existent in the game. Shocking. Trent again delaying on the ball, giving up possession and stuff like that while he was in possession, just having to take an extra touch, so slow, couldn't figure out at all. He was absolutely clueless today. Couldn't figure out what to do with the ball at all when he had it. We were finishing the half all over the place. Trent heading the ball back in central into play instead of clearing the ball. Salah's touch again poor, leading to more chances for Brighton. So 2-1 at half time. Massive improvement needed for the second half. I don't know what Klopp said to the boys. I don't know what the thinking was either with the changes. I would have thought that he would have been changing a lot more than just Luis Diaz, but there was a number of players there deserved to get hooked. But at half time he went in, team talk, boys came out a little bit more sprightly, went about their business. Obviously Diaz came on for Carvalho, which I thought it was harsh on the kid. One, he played him out of position, and two, he wasn't the worst player on the pitch by a long shot. For him to be coming off and getting subbed before either Hendo or Trent is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. But Luis Diaz comes on, brings the energy, starts pressing, running in on the keeper and stuff like that, causing that mayhem that he causes. He tends to be the only one at the moment that's bringing this energy that seems to come onto the pitch, that when he comes on, it's a different team and we just raise our level a little bit. 54 minutes, Diaz picks out Firmino, lovely footwork, switch back and back at the net 2-2. Lovely footwork from Bobby Firmino and great little pick out from Luis Diaz. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. That is what we want. On 63 minutes, 59 minutes, Hendo off for Elliott. 60 minutes again to make a change. Hendo should have been hooked after 20 minutes and Trent should have been hooked after half an hour. The fact that they got to half time and the fact that they walked back out on the pitch after half time is an indictment on Jurgen Klopp himself, and I'm putting that out there now. Let me know your thoughts on that one. But both boys were absolutely terrible first half. As bad a first half as either of those boys will have. And both of them tonight should be looking in the mirror on what they produced today in front of their fans and also in front of their teammates. Absolutely shocking. But yeah, Hendo was hooked for Elliott and cost us off for Milner. Cost us off for Milner as well. That whole dynamic, I just don't know what that's about at all. It's weird, you know. And 65 million quid worth of a player sitting on the bench wondering what the hell is going on, like. And we've Costas coming off and Milner coming on. I just don't get it. Again, the gaffer bewildering with the decisions. 63 minutes in, Sanchez with a look away howler went out to punch the ball. I don't know whether the sun sometimes at that end of the stadium can hit the keeper and stuff like that. And he sort of looked away, missed the punch. Ball hits Webster and goes into the back of the net for an OG. Again, an OG to go 3-2 up. 70 minutes, Liverpool were controlling the game a little bit better. They were holding possession and stuff like that. Elliott was applying a little bit of pressure, forcing the press and stuff like that, leading to some errors and stuff. But 73 minutes again, Welbeck with a great chance, Alisson with a great save. Again, saving the team. How many times, how many weeks, and how many games are we going to talk about how many times Alisson saves us? Alisson, by far, probably our man of the match today. Probably a toss up between him and Bobby getting the 2 goals. But Alisson, again, probably our man of the match today. Shocking. Shocking. So many players on that pitch today need to go home tonight and take a look in the mirror and ask themselves what the hell they're about playing for Liverpool Football Club. So bad. 75 minutes, Jota on for Firmino. No hat-trick today for Bobby, but can probably be content with his effort, even though the first half for most players was absolutely shocking. And it'll be reflected in the ratings. 83 minutes, Van Dijk with a blunder from the cross, falls to Trossard and he just puts it away. Big Dutchman probably making the error that cost us 2 points in the end. Again, it's just not singled out players here at the moment. It's across the board with the team. The level of performance at the moment is so bad. 89 minutes, as I spoke about, absolute piss take. Thiago coming off and Nunes going on. It bewilders me, you know. I just don't understand it. I cannot understand. I mean, did he not want this boy? Is this a transfer that he didn't want or something like that? And he's sending a message to FSG while the rest of us fucking live through it. You know, absolutely shocking. So what can we say about the game? 3-3, 2 points dropped at home. Which not unusual against Brighton now, is it? But they were really full value for their draw today, and in actual fact, they probably could have won. How many times have we said that this season? So that leaves us now a full 11 points, I think it is, behind Arsenal, who are flying high, and they're up next for us, with the exception of our midweek game against Rangers. We will be doing a preview for that Monday. The preview for the Rangers game will go out. It might go out tomorrow. I'm not sure. It might go out Sunday or Monday. I'm not too sure. Probably tomorrow evening, I'd say, or Monday. As part of our offering with the Monday mashup as well. But overall performance, I mean, with the exception of Bobby and Alisson, I mean, who else do we look at? Where's the leaders on the pitch? Where's all these international captains? Where's all these captains and leaders we used to have on the pitch that came on? Where was our captain today? Where was he? Nowhere to be seen. Invisible in midfield. May as well have not been on the pitch. Like playing with 10 men. When he's on the pitch. So bad. Not sure what the thinking was on Klopp on the starting lineup. The substitutions are even more bewildering. And I just don't know what's going on. And I'm beginning to believe Dino, who you know from the previous Shankly sessions, stuff like that, certainly believes internally there's something going on there at the moment that's not right and it's causing problems. And I'm beginning to believe that's the case as well, because this is not training. This is not tiredness. This is a team at the moment void of confidence, not playing for each other, so slow and sluggish, and a lot of players there at the moment looking like they're protecting themselves against the World Cup and stuff like that, and that's just unacceptable. Some of the stats of the game, and these are going to be interesting. Let's have a look at this one first. Shots on target, 7 versus, I think it was 6 for Brighton. 4 off target versus none for Brighton, and 4 block shots versus none for Brighton. But the real thing that's really worrying is that possession stat. That possession stat, 54% to 46%, is probably the lowest possession stat I've seen from a Liverpool team at Anfield, certainly in the last few years. To give up 46% possession to Brighton is shocking. Absolutely shocking. They absolutely ran the first half, but that's a really poor stat. And it's the one that's most concerning, because if you don't have the ball, you're not in control of the game. And that's a real concern at the moment from Liverpool, whose possession is normally in the mid to high 70s or even into the 80s. But it just goes to show that the difference in this Premier League at the moment, there is no easy games. And we can expect no easy games, especially at the level that we're playing at the moment. But I just don't understand. I don't understand the selection. I don't understand the prep for the game. I don't understand why the team is going out and it takes them 15 minutes nearly to start playing. I don't understand how we go out every game we're getting caught cold. I don't understand why we have to concede before we start playing. And I don't understand why we're not clever enough with our in-game management to see games off. So really, really, really poor at the moment. Let's get into these player ratings so I can go off and enjoy my Saturday. Let's start. Allison, I gave a 7-2. Toyed with giving an 8, but when you draw 3-all to Brighton and you go 2 goals down and stuff like that, we can't justify the ratings at all. Ali a couple of times today cropped up and did really well. You probably could give him an 8, but I gave him a 7. Trent, I gave a 3-2, and I think I'm being generous at that. Matip, I gave a 6-2, I think it was, wasn't it? And I went with a, yeah, Matip, I gave a 6-2. Didn't do a whole lot wrong really today, but certainly I didn't see any of those good penetrating runs from him as well, where he takes the ball out from defence. And I think a lot of that was to do with the fact that we played 3 in midfield against a 5 and we were slightly overcrowded. Van Dijk, I gave a 5-2. I suppose with the error at the end, you could go a lot lower if you wanted, but he certainly seems off the pace in terms of his own level of performance. Costas, I gave a 5-2. I don't think he ever really got into the game. I think he was out there and he was just going through the motions. He didn't seem to really get into the game. Fabinho, I gave a 5-2. Again, I didn't see how the link-up play and stuff like that was working. Just sometimes box to box and stuff like that, but at times got caught out. Hendo, I gave a 3-2. And again, I'm being absolutely generous there. I could go much lower if I wanted, if I really wanted to go in. Absolutely anonymous today. May as well have not been on the pitch. We may as well have played with 10 players. And that was my fear last night. I mentioned it in both our own preview and in the preview on Stephen's channel as well, that my fear was they were going to put him in there. And right now, he is done as an 8. Absolutely done as an 8. And if someone wants to come on here and convince me that he has still something to offer as an 8, please come on and explain it to me. He is nothing more now than a backup for Fabinho. That's all he is. Thiago, I give a 5-2. Although he had a bit of energy today and stuff like that and some passing, but I thought his passing was disjointed. I thought he was quite wasteful at times in possession with the ball. And I think maybe I'm doing him a little bit of a disservice as well. I thought some of the players around him just weren't on his wavelength and stuff like that, and that's why his passing looked disjointed. But I'm going to give him a 5. Salah, I gave a 5-2. Again, at times, his close control and ball control is all over the place at the moment, having to take extra touches. And when balls are played, he doesn't know whether to go or whether to wait. He's checking his runs, doubting himself, lacking in confidence, and just not playing really well at all. Carvalho obviously thrust into that position there. I gave him a 5, probably a bit harsh on the kid. He was lively enough in the first half, probably offering up most of the positivity that we had in the first half, but played out of position as well. And I thought it was very unfair on the boy. And I could not believe, if you look at that lineup there, Hendo and Trent should have been hooked way before he should have been, and both those boys should have been hooked way before half time. So Carvalho, I gave him a 5. And then I rounded out with Firmino, who I gave a 7 to, who obviously took his 2 goals very, very well. And was so unlucky with a header shortly after as well. He could have sealed this hat-trick and got us going. But really, really unlucky. Again, I think in the in the first half, I think he was a little bit more anonymous by the goal. I think in the second half, he grew a little bit more into the game and stuff like that. But again, not the worst performance from Bobby, but again, overall, the team performance in the first half was absolutely shocking. In terms of the man of the match, it's a toss-up between Ali and Bobby. Most people would give it to Bobby for scoring the 2 goals. I'll probably give it to Ali for the saves that he made. And maybe I'm a bit harsh on Ali with the 7, and maybe I'm a bit givish with Van Dijk on the 5. Certainly, I'm very givish on Trent and Hendo with the 3s. Let us know your ratings in the comments. Let us know what you think, how you rated the team today and stuff like that. But such a poor performance. All I can say now is roll on Tuesday and let's try and make amends in the Champions League and get a decent win over Rangers if we can, because no easy games this season for the Reds, that's for sure. It's going to be a real tough struggle this season for us in every single game, performing now at such a low level. And that is it. There's nothing more I can say. I'm not going to take up any more time of my Saturday. These are being tough, these match reactions and player ratings, because the performances have been poor most of the season. Until next time, Reds, don't forget to check us out. Monday night, we'll be back with the Monday mashup, where we'll be doing a review of all the Premier League action. You can also, you'll catch on the Shankly sessions as well. I'll have a preview up for the Rangers game. And I'll also do a match reaction and player ratings for the Rangers game on Tuesday evening. Until next time, Reds, a point gained, but 2 points badly lost at home.